Hi, my name's Lewis, and today's recipe is the TweetFan. What we do is take pretty much the most unintelligent object on the planet, a 1970s desk fan, and we're actually going to connect it to the internet. And more importantly, we're going to connect it to a social media network, in this case, Twitter. You're going to need a desk fan, an internet-connected plug socket, a Twitter account, and a laptop. First stage is to connect this plug to the internet. And to do that, we're going to use the application that's on the actual iPhone itself. So if I click the select button, it's going to tell me basically what to do. So plug me in, go into settings, look on the Wi-Fi icon. This is going to broadcast its own Wi-Fi network so I can connect the phone to the actual plug socket. So I'm going to take the plug and I'm going to plug it in to this extension cable. What it's doing at the moment, it's now broadcasting a Wi-Fi signal. So on my phone, I'm going to come in and I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to go to Wi-Fi. I'm going to turn the Wi-Fi off. I'm going to turn the Wi-Fi on. And what should happen is as this starts to broadcast the plug, a Wemo switch will appear in the actual list of Wi-Fis. So I've now selected the Wemo network and my phone is now connected via Wi-Fi to the plug socket. What I'm going to do now is go back into the application and it's now looking for devices. It's now found that switch. So what I've got now in my application is I've got a Wemo switch that has appeared in my application. I've got a little power button which allows me to basically turn the switch on and off. So our next stage of our process, take our 1970s desk fan and I'm going to plug that in. If I plug it in, put the fan on, there's no power coming through the switch at the moment until I use the power of the internet to turn the switch on and off. So if I click on the power button, fan comes on, click the button, fan comes on. So technically our 1970s desk lamp is now controlled via the power of the interwebs. So the next stage of our recipe, and bear in mind the recipe is called the TweetFan, we're now going to connect Twitter to this desk fan. To do that, we're going to use a service called ifthisthenthat.com, ifttt.com. So Twitter doesn't know anything about the desk fan and the fan doesn't know anything about Twitter. ifttt is the bridge in the middle, okay? So to do that, we're going to go into our Wemo application on our phone and we're going to click on More. And in there, there's the button that says Generate ifttt pin. So this basically is going to generate a unique kind of ID that allows me to associate this plug with the actual web service. If I click on Connect, it should register this device with my account on ifthisthenthat.com and it's done. So my Wemo switch is now connected. So my switch is now connected to a third-party web service, which is up in the cloud. What I'm going to do now is move on to my laptop, which is again connected to the internet, and I'm in a web browser, and I've navigated to ifttt.com, and I've signed in. And what I'm going to do now is create a recipe to connect Twitter, which is my trigger action, so to my output, which is the switch. So to do that, I'm going to come up into here, and I'm going to click on Create. This gives me a really simple interface. If this, then that. If trigger, do action. Very simple. So I'm going to click if this. Now on the if, these are all now the web services that are connected up into ifttt. So this is a range of physical devices, web services, heart rate monitors, anything you can imagine that's got a public API, they collate together. What I've already done is connected my Twitter account, my @Stroker Twitter handle, to ifttt. What you can see there now is a range of trigger actions. So I'm going to put in the field and I'm going to do hashtag and I'll call it xlab. So anytime I post a tweet to my Twitter timeline that's got the hashtag xlab, that's a trigger action that tells ifttt to do something in the real world. So to do that, I'm going to pick the trigger channel. I'm going to pick the action channel. So I'm going to start typing in Wemo, and you can see these are the range of the internet-connected devices that are available for me to use. I'm going to pick my Wemo switch, and then I've got the options: turn on, turn off, turn on then off, turn off then on, or toggle on and off. These are all the actions that are controllable onto this endpoint device. What we're going to do is we're just basically going to click on turn on, create action. And what I've done now is created a recipe. If Twitter, then switch. What I'm going to do now is on my mobile phone, I'm going to open Twitter. So this is Twitter and it's my Twitter account. It's my @Stroker Twitter handle. And all I'm going to do is a new tweet. I'm going to do hashtag XLab, because that's our hashtag that we're going to use. And I'm going to tweet it. You'll see there's the Twitter tag. So my tweet has now hit Twitter's timeline. So that's gone onto their social network. What IFTTT is doing now is it's constantly polling that Twitter handle, looking for that particular recipe. Once it finds that recipe, it'll run that trigger action, and the trigger action should be turn our switch on and turn our desk fan on.